Welcome to this gas tank rejuvenation episode on Rusted Up Garage. That's right. We're going to take these old 30-something-year-old tanks and we're going to make them new today for you guys. So I don't know if you're familiar with salvaging old tanks, but if you stick around with us in this episode, you're going to learn how to. So what we have here are the two fuel tanks out of that 86 square body we're building, okay? Now, I will tell you that the fuel tanks on a square body are the same tank left and right, okay? There is no difference. They're the same, they're identical. The filler necks and the filler hoses are also identical, okay? There's no difference. The two differences on these tanks are the vent hose, because obviously it needs to be longer on the passenger tank, because this is over here. And then on the driver's side, it's shorter. So technically if you had, it's just, that's the difference. And then the next difference is the fillers here. One point's in and one point's that way. Technically you could use them either way, but there is a difference between them two, okay? So now that we've gone through that, I did label mine passenger and driver. I'm going to try to keep them the same. They do need a cleaning, but we'll do that later. So I'm just kind of keeping that. I went ahead and kind of, taking some of this apart. But let's put that out of the way because we don't need that. And I'm going to show you the product that we're using. So I don't know who of you are familiar with KBS, but we're basically KBS narcs. All we do is use KBS for everything. It's great stuff. Not sponsored, but should be. Okay, KBS. This is the process. So we bought this. This is actually for one big tank, but where it comes with the 2 quarts, the small one, it comes with half as much. It was just cheaper to buy it this way, okay? So it's a 3-step process. First, you obviously drain the gas out. That's not really one of the steps, so it's going to be a 4-step process. And then we're going to clean it really well. We're going to blast it really well, and then we're going to seal it really well. So the clean is 1-to-1. So we're going to take out the sensors, and we're going to go 1 part of this. So I'm going to do 1/4 of this to 1/4 of hot water in each tank. You tape up the holes and you slosh it, 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 and you slosh it. And this is going to be probably a couple hours sloshing, or maybe probably an hour for the first run. I'll just slosh it. Now, if it's real dirty, you can put like nuts in it and bolts in it and anything you can to kind of get the rust free. These are actually pretty clean inside. But to get your tank clean, you're going to do that, and then you're going to drain it out, and then we're going to do a second run of it where we're going to put another round of it of hot water and cleaning it and slosh it and clean it and slosh it and clean it really well. Now, when that's done, you're going to want to drain it out and you're going to want to dry it really well. Okay, that's the first step. Step 2, okay, after it's dried. So that's really one day, and really spend time cleaning it. Now, we're also going to power wash the outside of these, and we're actually going to paint these to clean them up really well. But step 2 is this blast product. So this is a pre-paint primer, and you put this in there, and it's like zinc phosphate, and it exceeds standing time between preps and non-corrosive, and it's all of it right here, okay? So we'll put this in here. Slosh it around. You want to keep it wet. You just want to keep sloshing it, sloshing it, sloshing it, sloshing it, sloshing it, keeping it wet, keeping it wet. Do that about 30 minutes, okay? And then you want to drain it out. At that point, you want this thing to be dry, 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 okay? Run like a blower in it or something in it. If there shouldn't be any gas left in it, so there shouldn't be fumes in it, so you could technically run like a heat gun, something to blow it through, and you want this thing dry, okay? It's dry, dry, dry. So really, this is a couple-day project is what I'm trying to say. Once it's really dry with step 2, we're going to go to step 3, which is the tank sealer. This right here is the gold standard for stopping rust, okay? It's good for everything, blended fuels, it's good to be flexible, it's everything. But anyways, you pour this in, okay? And you just keep running the tank around, You want it to cover everything. You just keep working it around, working it around, working around. You don't want big puddles of this in there, okay? So you just kind of keep working it around, and then after everything's covered inside, there's a little extra, you can dump it out, okay? And then just let the thing dry for a day or two, or I don't even know what the instructions say, for days or something. I don't know. It's like a day or two. They have instructions though. And this stuff's even made in the USA. I love KBS. Small company, great products. So we'll get the inside rejuvenated, and then we're gonna prime these and we're gonna paint these and then put them back on the chassis. So it's kind of like you're gonna see these tanks go from this to brand new in about 20 minutes, and we're gonna be 3 days, maybe 4, okay? But I figured this would be an episode all on its own. If you guys ever wanted to restore gas tanks, this is kind of the process behind it. So I did already, come on over here, Zach. I already beat the snap ring off so we could pull these guys out, okay? So here are the old floats. I bought new floats, only because these, I mean, they don't look baddish. I don't know. They don't look goodish either. So we're just gonna get rid of these, okay? That's what we're gonna do. Throw them over there. Now, if you look inside this tank, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It has no gas left in it, but it's pretty clean. I don't know whether you guys can see in there or not, but it's not bad in there, really. So this is more of a preventative thing. No, I don't know if these floats are completely good. I know the gas gauge kind of worked. But I mean, you can see that they're all rusted up in here pretty good. The seals are all toast. So it's just where we're going to rejuvenate on all this, we might as well just, you know, take our time, get it cleaned up real well. So give me a second, and I'm get my tape together, and I'm going to get my water together, and I'm going to wipe this stuff down, and we'll put our first batch in and start slushing it around. So just give me a minute. Okay, so we're back. I got the hot waters. Okay. Quart of each. And then we're going to do the same thing on this.
That's a quart size. So
is it?
32 ounce.
Okay. And that'll take care of this. Let me move this out of the way. Oh yeah. So there we go. Now what I'm gonna do is just tape up this hole a little bit. I don't care if it comes out a little bit when I'm sloshing it, but
Cover the big hole.
yeah. I mean, really, I could probably just beat the thing back in too. You know, that would be an option. But yeah, I'll just Gorilla Tape it. It'll be fine. Like I said, the good thing is these tanks are not real bad inside. They're a little corroded more than anything, but they're not full of rust or anything. So that is a bonus for me. So really, this is just going to give them all the life, and I won't have to worry about them, you know, later on ever coming and making a little hole or something. Or leaking on the seams. 'Cause a lot of times they'll leak around them seams or whatever. We will not have to worry about that at all.
No matter the fuel type.
Nope, no matter the fuel
Same
type.
for all fuels.
Like I said, this is good stuff. We did this to the 55 tank, and the 55 tank was brand new. So,
After you cut a big hole.
I'm ready to cut a hole in the top of it, but still. besides the hole in the top of it, it was still brand new. And we did it just for preventative. I'll do one more piece. I didn't make that quite wide enough. Okay. So now with it taped, we slosh. And so I'll kind of show you what I'm gonna do, and then, you know, we're obviously not gonna slosh for 45 minutes with you guys, because again, then I'm just gonna let it sit different directions and everything else. So we'll get it good and clean. And this point, I think you guys kind of understand what we're doing here. So I'll bring you back when we start dumping it out and getting ready for the next step. How's that sound? So, again. Yeah, I see it right there. It's all. Well, we are on day 2, step 2 of the rejuvenation process of our tanks. Now, I spent all evening yesterday flushing and washing and cleaning. I mean, the tanks are clean on the outside now. I don't even get dirty touching them. And sloshing and cleaning and sloshing, and I repeated it, and sloshing and cleaning. So I know they're clean. And then they dried out overnight. And now step 2 is the rust blast, okay? Now it tells you basically in the instructions that they give you what to do with it. And you want to pour the entire amount into dry tank. Do not dilute. And then it wants you to repeat rolling every 5 minutes for a minimum of 30 minutes to an hour, okay? And the reason why I want you to do this is it's going to put a zinc phosphate on it that's going to do some stuff with the next process and just make it stick, okay? So then after that, you drain it out and you rinse the fire out of it, like 4, 5, 27 times, okay? Rinse it, clean it real good, rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse. And then the most important step, okay? Important steps right here, okay? You must let the tank completely dry. Okay, you can blow like a heat gun in it, air stuff, just dry it really good. Like, I'm not even gonna put the seal in it today. It may be a day or two before I even do that because I want it dry, okay? And then it says, do not attempt to seal in direct sunlight, okay? Because you don't want to do that, it says so right here. And then we'll finish the sealing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna put half of it in this tank, and I'm gonna put half of it in that tank, and then I'm gonna roll these tanks every 5, 10 minutes. And then I'm going to drain them, and I am going to flush them. And then I will re-rinse them, and I will drain them. So that's what we're up to now. And then I feel these tanks are gonna be good at that point. So this is good stuff, it really is. Well, help me understand. Need something to poke this with. This looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and just, we're just gonna put in the ounces. It's blue. So now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just okay, so now we're just gonna let them sit about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll do it again, and then I'll do it again, and then I'll do it again, and then I'll bring you back when I dump it out. So I don't think you wanna watch me go swish, 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 swish. So we'll be back when I clean them out. Okay, so I have been slish sloshing these things for well over an hour plus now and just rotating them. So now I'm doing now is pull the tape off, I'm gonna flip them over, I'm gonna kind of slosh out as much as I can, and then we're gonna rinse them out, and they should be good. They're kind of a pain on these to get out. Don't worry, I do have this draining into a EPA approved container. It catches it down there somewhere. So don't you guys worry about that. It's actually etching my concrete. Because it is just an etching compound, so it ain't gonna hurt nothing. But I hear it's sizzling on the concrete, cleaning the concrete. Again, the tanks are clean. That was all done yesterday. So. Okay. Now we're gonna do, it's gonna get a little bit loud and fire up my power washer. And I'm just gonna spray these really good inside of my power washer and do that again and a couple more washes. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna basically just keep doing this. I'll spray them, I'll stand them up, I'll spray them, I'll clean them, I'll rewash the outsides, and then once I'm satisfied they're all rinsed, I'm gonna drain out as much as I can. It's gonna be a nice sunny day today, so I'm probably just gonna let them dry outside. I'll make sure I'll keep moving them around so if there's a little bit of water, it kind of gets on the surface and evaporates. And probably one night this week I'll finish it out. So, but that's the process. I know it's loud, but I'm gonna keep washing, and I'll bring you guys back when we get ready to pour the goodies in. Part 3. We're finally on the part 3 of this tank sealer, the golden standard of stuff. Okay? This one right here, the instructions clearly state, it's important, even though it's not in yellow, do not whip or shake can, as this will introduce air, creating bubbles in the sealer. We don't want bubbles, okay? So, you just have to carefully lift and pull, push and push, okay? So that's what we gotta do. Then we're gonna empty the entire contents into the hole. Now, I did put some tape around the hole just to keep some of the mess back a little bit. Although when we're done, we're gonna peel up all the tape and wipe this down because you do not want this in your sealing area because it sets up hard as a rock. You're not cleaning this up, okay? Once we pour it in there, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of rotating, and this is gonna take like an hour, okay? Be patient, don't do it like if you have to leave for the market in 10 minutes. This is gonna take an hour or so of your time, okay? There's no, like it's supper time, nope. Nope, you're committed, okay? So, take your time with this, like the rest of the project. We're trying to make this gas tank last forever. Or, I mean, as forever as you can. So as you can see, I am not whipping or shaking. I am lifting and I am pushing. See, like that. Now I will tell you, it is not clumpy at all. So, really, I don't need a lot of stirring. It's just to make kind of sure that we're not, you know, that whatever is supposed to be stirred is. Because you're gonna stir the crap out of it here in a minute. Believe you me. Okay, so now I am pretty content with that right there. Okay. What I do is I'm going to take my stick, throw it in the dump. Two for two. Okay. Now, put on your gloves. Even though I've already got it on my fingers. You know, safety third. I don't think we need this now. We'll get the gist of what we're doing. We're going to empty the contents into the gas tank. Now, this gas tank has been sitting for days. It's almost been a week, actually. It does say to apply this within 10 days of all your cleaning, because remember that etch stuff that you can see where it's all etched inside? I guess that makes it more etchy, I guess. I don't know. I just know there's a lot of sciences and stuff involved. Look at that, I didn't even do my job. Tape that up. This is why I can't have nice things right here. This is why. Okay, so now what I like to do is get my trusty little flashlight out, because I want to see what's going on in there. Now currently it's all at the bottom. You can't really tell, but it's in there, okay? And there's a whole cord in there. So what I'm going to start doing now is I might as well just start right here. Yeah, flip it right up like that. Now you don't want to be in a hurry here either. You're kind of letting the stuff run all over. And what I'm trying to do now is, where it's up on its end, is I'm letting it all set in here and just fill in that big old crack, okay? Now it's gonna run out too. But you gotta start somewhere, right? I'll show you guys here in a minute. But we're just gonna, oh yeah, right down the crack. But see, it missed that whole corner. Now we'll roll it back. Roll it up. Now, we're gonna do a whole bunch, everything I can see and get as much as I can, and then I'm gonna tape up the hole, flip it upside down and do the whole inside top. But I really like to make sure that, you know, I've gotten the corners real good, because it takes a little bit to just get it all covered in there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna let it sit here a few minutes. I'm gonna roll it around again, and then I'm gonna tape up the hole, flip it over, and keep rolling it. So, I mean, you guys are getting the understanding what we're doing, okay? We'll drain her out in a little bit. So, we'll be back. Okay, so we have been doing the flippity, 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 flippity for like 30 minutes or so now. So I know I've gotten the whole tank. We did the tape on the bottom, and now I've actually pulled the tape off. And I laid it across the frame here, and see, there's not a ton, but you do want to get that out, because you don't want it to be all, you don't want to puddle it in there. Now there might be still some left in there, a little bit when you're done. So then the trick is you still just keep rotating it. Just like that. So we're just going to keep doing this for a while, and make sure it's good and drained, and then I guess we'll come back and show you what the finished product looks like. Okay, so this tank is done. I got to peel off this. I peeled the tape off, and then I cleaned up this seal really good area while it was still wet, because you don't want any of that tank sealer here, because it's going to be a real pain to put your, your thing done. But no, it came out good. I mean, it's nice and shiny and sealed up. I don't know if you probably can't see in there. Zach might be able to get it a little bit, but I mean, it's all in there. So it just gets in all the cracks all the way around. If you actually have pinholes in your tank, it'll actually kind of seep in them pinholes as it's doing this process and seal up a rusty tank. I mean, this stuff's made for like tanks from up north, you know, bad ones. You can even put on the outside. I mean, it's crazy. So really good product. We're still not done with these tanks though. Now, you get one thing extra special. These are headed out to the old paint shop, and we're gonna make them look real nice. So, tomorrow, Zach will have them in the old paint booth, and I'll show you what he's doing to make these babies look as good on the outside as they do on the inside. Okay, guys, I believe we are on step 4, which has nothing to do with KBS, but it has to do with some Summit epoxy primer catalyst and primer, wherever that one.
It's up there.
He's
taking up space.
He's taking up space. So he's going to put the old epoxy primer on these bad boys right here. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's direct to metal.
Direct to metal. And then after that dries, you're going to put some paint on them, right? That'll be step 5.
4 or 5.
This is 4.
18, whatever step.
And then 6 will be put them on the truck. Okay. Don't make people wait. Let's go. So what are we doing?
I'm going to mix in the catalyst.
You haven't done that yet?
No, because I didn't want it to set off while I was waiting for you.
Oh, good job. All over your fingers.
Thanks.
How do you know how much to put in it? Is the trick to get more on the table? Is that the trick? Does it do better on the table, Zach?
Yes, it does.
You just like it seals the table, or I mean, what's going on here? Help me understand.
The thing's over full. They give you plenty.
Okay, so now you're just gonna stir that up real quick. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna stir that up real quick and put it in his gun. We'll be back. Okay, go time. Don't make the people wait. More of that invisible paint you keep spraying on everything. Maybe you should clean your stuff up so it ain't in your way. That would be pretty handy. Okay, so we just go wait for them dry, I'll flip them over, same process. And I guess we'll bring you back and we start putting the old color on these bad boys. God, I am excited for new fuel tanks. Okay, step 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 5. 6.
I don't know.
It's a step anyway. This is really the last step before we put them on, and you're gonna want to wait for the big reveal. It'll be coming here, and it won't be long. Just watch for a few more minutes. Now, I will say you probably should get some lights in here. It's getting dark. Maybe you should get with the owner of this fine establishment and tell him you need some lights. That's what I'd probably do. But hey, paint in the dark. I'm good. Let it rip. What color we going with?
It's a mystery.
Mystery? It's whatever we didn't like for the color of the truck.
Exactly.
Perfect. Spray the crap good. Ooh, that's nice. You almost can't even tell you're painting on the camera.
They'll just have to believe us.
Huh?
They'll just have to believe us.
Okay. Why you say it's not primer anymore? I think it's gonna look good, Zach. They can't really see it because it's so dark in here, but Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to waste you guys' time. I'm just going to bring you right to the big reveal of what she looks like in the truck. You guys ready for this? And just like that, we not only got the tanks installed you can't see yet, but we switched people. That's good photography, cameraing stuff. But anyways, the big reveal of what we've been trying to do for like a week is, look at that. Nice, huh? So we took 2 really old, nasty fuel tanks that were on this truck and reconditioned them. I mean, they're better than new. I mean, the KBS products we used on the inside that you can't see because it's dark, but you got the gist of that. And then Zach took some old paint we had and he, sanded them up and primed them and painted them. We bolted them back in, put new isolators that we made out of some rubber that we had here at the house, because really that's what GM did. They just went out to the roof and cut some chunks of the 30-pound felt off. But anyways, I couldn't be more ecstatic on how good these tanks came out, because I was dreading these tanks. They had been stored up underneath the trailer for a month and a half because I didn't want to touch them. But now I am super excited. I did get new floaty, yeah, that thing, because you saw them, they were pretty gross. So, not part of this video, because that's just, I mean, we're gonna drop them in. There's really, it's pretty self-explanatory, okay? I do gotta start plumbing this truck next and getting all the fuel lines run up and the changer over and all that stuff. But I guess if you wanted to see how to restore gas tanks, this was your video, okay? And there's some really other cool videos coming from this truck, because this thing has turned into a beast of a project. From when I bought it to what I was thinking I was doing in my head to what it decided that we were gonna do when we got it home. Oh, but I mean, it is looking good. And so maybe this video helped you. Go ahead and restore on the old gas tank. It's all right. It's not hard, okay? But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Or please subscribe if you didn't. And we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace out.